Welcome back, everybody, as we take a deeper look into clauses. This time, a type of subordinate clause known as the adverb clause. We've looked at independent clauses, subordinate clauses, drilled in on one type of subordinate clause, the adjective clause. Now time to look at the adverb clause. An adverb clause, as the name would suggest, is a subordinate clause that functions as an adverb. That is, like any other adverb, whether a single word or a phrase, it modifies verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs. An adverb clause will begin with a subordinating conjunction. And there's quite a list of these, but subordinating conjunctions would be words like after, although, as. They tie back to an action. While. There's many of these. You can consult textbooks and others, or simply just go search on the web for a list of subordinating conjunctions. You'll get quite a list. But they begin with those. The pattern is as follows. Subordinating conjunction plus subject plus verb, definition of a clause, right, yields an incomplete thought. Again, these are subordinate clauses, not independent clauses. They cannot stand alone as sentences, so they will be incomplete thoughts. But that's the formula for an adverb clause. Let's take a look at some examples. Whenever lazy students whine. Notice I put emphasis on that first word. Whenever. There we can see a subordinating conjunction. Again, big tip, it has to do with time. Many of these have to do with time. In fact, here's a larger general tip. Anytime you see a modifier having to do with time, it is an adverb because it's going to modify an action. Things have nothing to do with time. Actions have something to do with time. It's not when the car, it's when the car drives away. So anytime you're dealing with time, you will be talking about modifying like an adverb modifies. So, whenever lazy students whine, whenever is the subordinating conjunction. What's the subject? Students. And what's the verb? Whine. So there we have our subordinating conjunction, whenever, our subject students, and our verb whine. Next example. As cola spilled over the glass and splashed onto the counter. What's our subordinating conjunction? As. Again, it speaks about things happening at the same time. As this happened, that happened. So that's naturally going to set it up to be an adverb. What's our subject? Cola. What are our verbs? Spilled and splashed. So subject, cola, verb spilled and splashed. And the subordinating conjunction, as. Next example. Because my dog loves pizza crusts. Does your dog love pizza crusts? Anyway, the subordinating conjunction is because. Because my dog loves pizza crusts. What's the subject? Subject is dog. What's the verb? Verb loves. So there we have another adverb clause. Let's talk about punctuation. There is a punctuation rule for adverb clauses just as there is for adjective clauses. Here it depends on position. It's a position rule. An adverb clause coming after the main clause needs no comma. That is, as shown in this model here, main clause plus nothing plus adverb clause would yield the sentence. Here it's a complete thought because the main thought completes it. So no comma is needed between a main clause and adverb clause if the adverb clause comes after the main clause. However, if that's not the case, if our adverb clause appears before the main clause, then we will need a comma. So here's some examples based on location. Complete sentences following the pattern we discussed a moment ago. I've put the subordinate clauses, as has been our tradition so far, in blue, the main independent clauses in black. So here's our adverb clause. Whenever lazy students whine, Mrs. Russell throws chalk erasers at their heads. And let me start by pointing out that what we have here is because the clause comes before the main independent clause, and a comma is required. And you can see it right there. So that's comment number one. Because it came first, a comma is required. Comment number 2 is really a question. What is this modifying? Whenever what? Whenever lazy students whine. What whenever lazy students whine? Throws. She throws whenever they whine. So we could really circle this whole clause and point it back at throws, because that's telling us when the throwing happens. It is modifying throws. Example number 2. Anthony ran for paper towels as cola spilled over the glass and splashed onto the counter. The blue is our subordinate adverb clause. It comes after the main clause, so again we can see no comma is required. Let's talk about what's modifying what. What as the cola spilled over the glass and splashed onto the counter? Better asked, what happened as the cola spilled? Anthony ran. So as cola spilled is modifying ran by telling us what time, when that occurred. He ran as that was going on. Final example here. Because my dog loves pizza crusts, he never barks at the delivery man. I guess I wouldn't either. The subordinate clause, adverb clause in this case, comes before the main clause, the independent clause, so we need our comma, and there it is, following that rule. But let's undertake our other exercise. What is this clause modifying? What? Because my dog loves pizza crusts. Well, never barks because he loves pizza crusts. That's why, right? Why? Because. Why what? Why never barks? Because loves pizza crust, to simplify things. So this whole clause is pointing back at the verb barks. Never separately modifies barks, negating it. But barks because my dog loves pizza crust. Never barks, actually, because my dog loves pizza crust. So there we see some examples, both of usage and of punctuation. Hope that helps.